Welcome to a new lesson of Adobe Lightroom, or also known as Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how you will be able to fix spots or remove spots, or also known as healing. And later on, I'm going to show you how you will be able to, skin retouch in Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. Well, obviously, both of these, the features or work is like very important and very demanding in this modern era. Because obviously, if you want to make a photo to look a lot better, obviously you're gonna need to be able to do, fix, the skin healing or removing spots, and also termed as healing, and also later on skin retouching. Okay, and obviously the photographers in these days, or professional editors and photographers, use both of these to make the clients more happy and also make the photo look a lot more better. Okay, so first what I'm gonna do is obviously like include or like import a photo. So you have to keep those things in mind, that as both of these are like very demanding, Adobe Lightroom, which is like one of the most used like photo editing software, has those tools. Okay, and you have to keep another thing in mind, that as both of these features can be done in Adobe Lightroom and also Photoshop. Well, this is like a very good and Adobe like good type of software, and those type of software which does not contain these type of tools to be done, well, those cannot be deemed to be a good type of software, because those are like kind of the basic nowadays. So I'm gonna do is import a photo. I'm gonna click on import, and from there I'm gonna select on the drive where I have my photo. From H, I'm gonna like select the photo. I'm gonna do is uncheck all. I'm gonna select the photo which I actually need, so I'm gonna select on this, and I'm gonna do is import this photo over here. And after, it's going to take some time, I'm going to increase the size of this photo. I'm going to do is obviously crop it. So I'm going to do is crop it. So if you want to crop it, just go to develop module and then click on crop, and it has been cropped directly. Okay, so it is already cropped. So I'm going to do is change or remove the spots first, and later on show you how you will be able to fix or like retouch the skin. And why I like told you that I'm gonna fix the the spots first and later on do the retouching, because if you do the retouching first, or if you do the retouching first and do the spots later on, well, it takes a while for Adobe Lightroom to fix the spots, okay, later on, and detect the skin. But if you fix the skin, or like remove the spots first, it is like very easier for Adobe Lightroom to fix or like scan the subject and then do like all of the works. So first off, if you want to remove the spots, there is a tool called spot removal, or you can also use the keyboard, which is just Q. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see that there is like a brush. There is going to be a clone, and there is going to be a heal. So first off, what you're going to do is going to be clicking on heal, which is like more better. Well, heal is a lot more like a lot better than clone, because heal does not only work on skin but also on surfaces where you need to fix it or make it like blend, or like a lot of those stuffs. So what I'm gonna do is click on heal, and then you have the brush size. You can like increase the brush size. You can see the the preview of the size, and as now is like really big. So I don't want it to be like that big, so I'm gonna increase the size just a bit in such a way so that it is like very useful. So I'm gonna click it to be somewhere around here. I'm gonna do is like zoom in a lot more. So I'm gonna do is keep it to be 66. I'm gonna keep it over here. That is like perfectly like available over here. Then what I'm gonna do is like change the feather size, which you can also do. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it to be 46, and then you can like fix the opacity. That's also going to be up to you and also optional. Now what I'm gonna do is obviously like fix the skin. So first off, what you're going to do is select the parts where the skin is has spots. So I'm gonna do is select on here, and it's going to detect the place where it's like more better. And another thing you have to keep in mind, that you should not like you do this or like drag your mouse, because that will jumble up all of the data in your the photo. But what you're going to do, if you want to go up and down, use this navigator to do that. And if you do any like faults, just press on Control Z to undo all of those, and it will be done or undone. Okay, so if you want to even like drag over this place, just click on this tool again, and then you can like drag up and down to see the area. But I prefer using the navigator because both at the same time you can see both the photos and also go up and down and also fix the spots. So I'm going to click on here, and then I'm going to decrease the size a bit more so that it perfectly matches. So I'm going to click over here, and then what I'm going to do is drag it over here, and you can see that it has detected place in such a way so that it is now a lot more better. I'm going to click on it again, and you can see the preview. I'm going to click on it, or maybe if it's not, just I'm going to press Ctrl+Z so that it is a bit more better. I'm going to do is Ctrl+Z again. I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to keep it over here, so I'm going to click it over here, and you can see it is a bit more better. I'm going to click it over here, and it will like fix the spots. I'm going to click over here, click over here, click here where I want perfectly placed. So I'm gonna do is start fixing it one by one, or like fixing the areas where it needs more fixing. I'm gonna keep it over here, and you can see the skin is like getting smoother and better just as I'm using this heal tool. So I'm going to click it over here, and when I click on this tool, you can see that this part of the skin looks a lot more cleaner and a lot more smoother. So I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to do is fix on these parts, and you can see that if it's not good, I'm going to press on Ctrl+Z to like undo that. I'm going to do is decrease the size a bit more. So I'm going to do is find out this place where it needs to be perfectly fixed. You can like zoom in a bit more. So I'm going to do is zoom in a bit more. So I'm going to keep it 66 and use the navigation one to see the whole area. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna do is find out the brush, and from here I can like select wherever I want it to be. So I'm gonna click on this tool, and then I'm gonna do is obviously fix over here, and you will see that it will directly scan the area where it needs to be perfectly fixed, or like clone that area. I'm gonna keep it from here. I'm gonna do the nose. I'm gonna use this part. Okay, well, this might get a bit more dark, so I'm gonna click on here, get a preview. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do is just click on here and use the tool back again. I'm gonna click on this tool. I'm gonna do is select on this part, and it will select the area. And I'm gonna do is, well, that is like mostly done. I'm gonna click on this part again. I'm gonna select on this area because that area is like not perfect. So I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna do is going to be selecting this area where it needs to be more fixed. So I'm gonna do is, let's say I'm gonna keep it to be somewhere around here, and you can see that it is a lot more better. I'm gonna click over here, and you can see that this is more perfectly fixed, and as you can see, the skin has turned to be a lot more smoother. And after everything is done, or like the skin retouching is done, or like the spot removal is done, I'm gonna do the skin retouching now. So if you want to do skin retouching, what you're going to do is obviously use the mask tool. Just click on this mask tool and obviously select the object first. Now what you're going to do is select the object. If you don't have the object selected, what you can do is going to be just press on this object. Let's say I'm gonna do is remove this. I'm gonna do is delete all mask. So what you're going to do is select the subject, and it's going to take some time for Adobe Lightroom to select the object or like subject, and then after it is done, you will see that the subject will be covered in red paint, and that will be the marked area. Well, that will be also the skin. Then what you're going to do is obviously the main part is going to be the texture and also the temperature and tint. So what you're going to do first is fix the temperature. When you see the temperature, when I increase it up and down, you will see that it will change it yellow or like blue. But from here we're going to find a range where it will give us the perfect type of color. So I'm going to decrease it just a bit. Let's say keep it 9 or 8 minus. I'm going to do is increase it to be 4, and that you can see the colors are now a lot neutral and a lot more like good to see. Now you can like increase or decrease the exposure just as you want, increase or like decrease the contrast, then do the texture, and then do the clarity and the dehaze. Well, after that you can like select or do whichever one you want, but those are the main stuffs. So hope you guys like understood everything about this lesson, like how you will be able to do like spot removal and also skin retouching, because spot removal is like more important, and after that you can do like skin retouching a lot more easier way. So that is actually it on how you will be able to do it, and try to like fix the spots or remove the spots first, like heal your skin first, and later on do the skin retouching, so that like Adobe Lightroom is like it helps Adobe Lightroom to scan the area or scan the subject easily and make changes on the skin and making the skin look a lot more better in various ways. Then you can also use vibrance and a lot more of those tools, but you will also get a very good type of result. So hope you understood everything about this lesson, and thank you for watching this video and staying with us.